All right, I just fired up the live up here. So you're gonna have my head cut off. All right, this is an experiment. I've got, at the end of the work table here, I've got John, Ryan, Xander. And you can't really see them all. But, so I've got them right up here. I've got John right over here. And John called me yesterday and he had some really good ideas about, let me turn off the fan real quick. And it gives people a chance to join the chat too. So on my iPad over here, propped up in a paint bucket or a paint can with a stick, I got John, Ryan, Xander, so he can see my entire board here. Hey, Edward. John's up in, John, where are you from? Detroit?
Yeah, right outside of Detroit.
Yeah, John's right outside Detroit. I'm going to turn off one more thing real quick. All right, I think that's going to make my headspace a little happier. All right, so we were talking yesterday. John is presently riding one of my ditch daggers. Hi, Randy. Hey, guys. Yesterday, John, what was the shape you pitched yesterday do you want to do on a custom?
Like a spoon nose with a square tail, 16-inch wheelbase, at least big enough to fit 215s.
So 215s are 10 inches wide. And you wanted me to start with a square tail, and you like the tail on the ditch dagger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That was great.
I'm gonna start off roughly with the ditch dagger shape, and then we're talking about a spoon nose and a ditch dagger. If my memory serves me right, but why use your memory? Why would I do that? It's supposed to be 10 inches wide, and it is. It's 10, and it is up in the front. It's 9 3/4. So we want those 215s not to stick out. That's one thing we're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ditch dagger, and I'm going to use pocket its tail. All right, pocket the tail. I'm going to do the center line, get it centered, and then, oh man, my special pencil. There it is. Oh, my special Christmas pencil right here. My Pica-Dry. Love it. So I'm going to mark your center line here. I'm going to mark your center line here. Little crow foot. And then I'm going to back up from the whole thing. We're going to establish a working extended center line down the whole board. And that's where we're going to start plotting our proper width over the trucks. So back to front, we're going to work the truck width game at 10 inches. And I got a center line now. Back to this, I marked where my tail's going. So I've got a mark for my tail. And I got my nose there, but I'm not using the nose on this board, so I'm going to put a little flat mark back here where my tail is, which I already had a little mark. And now I'm going to mark roughly where my truck beds land. I learned last custom, I actually did a little bit of a study into. Okay, so that's where my truck beds are. And I'm going to establish a 10-inch baseline right there where my trucks go. And all that wonderful spring in between. You do have a deck on the way. In fact, it's just in coatings right now. I'm very happy to say that if I dial this out to 5, yeah, that batch is popping out right proper quick. So, put a mark, put another mark, and then I'm going to drop a punch on it. They were all right here, and then I was working on some bearings. That I have. I've been having.
I've just got Superfly bearings.
You know, I don't know what it is, but I go through bearings really fast. And I'm going to show you guys an example of my bearing use. submitted for your nerd pleasure in a minute, because bearings have really been kind of getting me down. I am cleaning my Superflies today. They still have plenty of life in them, I do think. But yeah, bearings have been okay. So now I got our truck beds done, and I'm going to go back to the shape. And we want the tail and swell of this shape, but we want to change the way the nose is. And so I'm going to start at the tail. I'm going to keep the tail centered and kick out to that mark. Center line on tail, kick out to the mark, and then cut that in. Then I'm going to keep the tail centered, kick out to the mark, and I'm going to cut this in. Okay, now I got my tail done. Then I'm going to go mark to mark at the correct distance. Mark to mark for the swell. Oh, this is not horrible at all. Swell, and then same deal, mark to mark. Tail distance here. Got it. For the swell. All right, now we're going to shift gears. We want a different nose. And the nose we want is going to be a widened version of the Classic. So I'm going to take the Classic with a nice, this is my extended, longer, larger Classic that I never used. It's not a stock. I'm going to put it, you know what I'm going to do also? I'm going to bump it forward. I'm going to bump it forward on center and get that. Yeah, good. I'm going to give you a little longer nose line there. Got it. And now I'm going to angle that out this way. Angle and blend. Angle, press, and blend. 1. Angle, press, yep, and blend. All right. Okay, John.
Oh, that's perfect.
There it is. There's the.
So bad.
So there we have it. There's a square tail. Oh, technology, square-tailed up to a. I'm going to turn this off real quick. Here's a square tail up to a round front. Now your total length on this is going to be right around. Let me do a length measurement. This is a big ass board.
Yeah, it is. It's sweet.
This is going to measure in at 35 inches.
Yes.
And your wheelbase is, and you are wanting a 16 what?
16-inch wheelbase if possible.
No, that is possible because this mold can do all the way out to 18-inch wheelbases, and my last one was 15.6, and it was too short for this. My last board is right here, and someone's always calling. John was here for the texts. This is my last board, and I put a 15.6 and a 16.6 wheelbase on this. I rode it at 15.6, and it is unused at 16.6, and I do like the way the board lasted and the way it behaved. So I'm going to retire this one as a backup for when I'm in the mood for something a little bit longer again. But there you go, John. There's John Zanders, and then your. Do you happen to remember which order number you were? My phone is in use, or I'd look up your order number. I want to punch your order number if I can. Do you know?
I can look it up real quick if you want.
Do you have to turn off the phone to do that? Like.
No.
Yeah, look it up for me. That'd be great. I know it starts with 00, and then it's probably a 2.
2. Oh, hold on a sec.
Mm-hmm.
0029.
5 0. There we are. All right, I'm gonna put the letter Z on it for Xander.
Awesome. Sorry.
There's Z. Z starts that way. Good. Boom. Z for Xander. All right. Well, John, that was fun. Everybody, I'm going to let you guys go and say goodbye to John, and then I'm going to finish. I'm going to finish this. Hang on. Stay with me, John. I want to talk to you a little bit more. I'll see you guys soon. This was fun. It's the first time bringing a customer from Detroit on to craft their board with me. It's a it's a square back. It's got the same swallowtail that the the ditch daggers have. The same swell, but on a wider truck beds, full 10-inch truck beds, and then a full rounded nose. It's not a spoon concave, but that is a spoon nose. So yeah, I'm gonna get that cut in the next batch, and we will be talking soon. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'll catch you soon.